Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at what might be the ultimate brain for massive audiovisual setups.
Yeah, we're pulling all this from the spec sheet for the Zenty ZT-226.
Right, the 16 by 16 HDMI matrix switcher. So I want you to imagine you're wiring up an environment and you have 16 different sources.
Like servers, video game consoles, cable boxes.
Digital signage players, yeah. And you need to route them into 16 different displays at the exact same time.
Which is usually a nightmare.
A total tangled nightmare. Doing that without creating a massive bottleneck or format mismatch is exactly what the Zenty unit is built to solve.
It's essentially the central nervous system for highly ambitious AV projects, whether you are building out a multi-room sports bar, a corporate conference center, or a really high-end home theater.
Managing that volume of signal traffic seamlessly requires some serious purpose-built hardware.
Absolutely.
And looking at the sheer visual specs, it is pushing a lot of data. It handles 16 HDMI inputs and 16 outputs, maintaining pristine 4K resolution at 60 Hz.
Plus, it supports the major dynamic range formats, so HDR, HDR10, and Dolby Vision.
But a lot of matrix switchers claim to handle 4K, and then they just completely bottleneck the second you introduce a mixed resolution environment into the mix.
Oh, the ED-die handshaking issues.
Right. But I see the spec sheet says this has built-in 4K to 1080p downscaling on every single output. Does that actually prevent the entire network from dropping to the lowest common denominator?
That is exactly why the localized downscaling is critical here. Historically, if you put an older 1080p monitor on the same network as your brand new 4K displays, the system panics.
It forces every screen down to 1080p.
Just to maintain an image.
Yeah.
But by downscaling independently at the port level, the Zenty bypasses that completely. The 4K screens get 4K, and the 1080p screens get 1080p.
All from the exact same source.
Exactly.
Which makes a ton of sense from a practical cost-saving perspective. A business owner isn't going to want to rip out a dozen perfectly functional 1080p screens in, say, the overflow rooms.
Just because they upgraded the main viewing areas to 4K, right? It prevents those forced, expensive total system upgrades.
Yeah.
You can incrementally slot new displays into your existing ecosystem without breaking the whole chain.
That's a huge deal. But routing 16 distinct 4K video feeds is one thing. Managing the audio without massive delay or format loss usually creates a huge headache for installers.
Audio routing is always tricky.
So how does the Zenty handle the audio alongside that heavy video traffic?
It actually pulls double duty as a commercial-grade audio distribution center. It features 16 analog audio routing ports using 3-pin Phoenix connectors.
Those are standard for a commercial amplifier integration, right?
Yeah, letting you strip the audio from the HDMI and send it straight to a dedicated house sound system. But it also handles the heavy digital lifting, supporting uncompressed formats like Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, and ARC.
The audio return channel.
Yep.
That ARC support is massive for simplifying the cabling, especially if you're pulling audio back from native smart TV apps. And looking at the control options, it's highly adaptable. You aren't just stuck standing at the server rack pushing buttons.
Right. It supports a standard IR remote, but also PC software, over RS-232, TCP/IP web interfaces, and even Crestron drivers.
Crestron integration.
That is the real differentiator for professional environments. If a venue already has a massive legacy smart control system in place, this unit speaks its language right out of the box.
You don't have to overhaul your entire control architecture.
Or retrain your staff. It integrates directly into the IT infrastructure you already manage.
Which brings up the obvious question of cost. Because commercial integration gear that plays nice with Crestron and handles 16 independent 4K streams usually runs into the thousands of dollars.
It can get incredibly pricey.
But looking at our source material, the MSRP for this unit is actually just $700.
It's an incredibly aggressive price point for a true 16 by 16 commercial matrix.
And looking at the notes here, there's actually a 25% off discount code currently active in the documentation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just enter 25% off at checkout to drop that price even further.
Wow. And beyond the initial hardware cost, the warranty structure they've put behind it is what truly gives it viability in a commercial setting. Zenty backs it with a 5-year warranty, a 60-day free return window, and lifetime technical support.
You rarely see that level of coverage on electronics in this price bracket unless you're paying a recurring licensing fee. Having lifetime technical support available could literally save an IT manager's weekend.
Exactly. It demonstrates a high level of confidence in the hardware's durability when running 24/7 in a hot commercial rack. It significantly lowers the risk profile for an integrator.
Or even an ambitious home user putting together a complex network for themselves. So, for you listening, the main takeaway from all this source material is that managing a mind bogglingly complex AV network doesn't require an enterprise level budget anymore.
No, it really doesn't.
Whether you are wiring up the ultimate neighborhood sports bar or designing the super home theater of your dreams, the hardware required to act as the brain of the operation is surprisingly accessible.
Which leaves you with an interesting final thought to ponder. As commercial-grade equipment capable of seamlessly routing 16 simultaneous 4K streams becomes this affordable, how will the very architecture of our everyday homes change to hide the massive servers running our digital lives?